It's funny what a few days' research can uncover. You know, the sort of thing, you see the headline and then you look into it and think, well, that seems a little bit ominous. And then you dig a little bit deeper, then you make some contacts with people that you know. And then, of course, you find out the true background story. The problem is in the digital world that we all live in today, don't know if you've noticed this, it goes out there. And then, of course, that becomes the folklore headline, the true story. What I've often said here on the show is that I like to dig into the story, which takes me a little bit longer than most of the other people doing this, because I like to find out the facts, what's really gone on, and truly, what is the truth behind the headline. And this particular headline has now evolved once again. I know, you can't believe it. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today as ever. Thank you for your company. I'm so glad you do enjoy, by the way, all the old Hollywood star videos that we put together. I say we, it's me. I just think, what would the chums like to know about? And as I say, when you've met so many people in your career, you know, you forget, you do forget, people like Jerry Lewis, Rita Moreno, Clint Eastwood, and you think they were great times, great fun. Do you agree with me on this though? When you're young, you don't necessarily understand or how grateful you are to have met these people because they seem quite ancient to you. I don't mean that rudely, but do you know what I mean? You think, oh, right, yeah, really? It's only when you get a bit older you appreciate things, don't you? Yes. Well, what do you mean looking at me, the older? I know. Back as ever to your story of the day. A couple of days ago, this particular story made headlines. This is all because, of course, Meghan Markle's favourite photographer, Mr. Harriman, the man who's created a bit of controversy because, as I've said to you before, apparently he got very upset and decided to take to the world of social media to tell the world that he'd not doctored, altered, removed, photoshopped, whatever, this particular imagery, which was, of course, the pregnancy picture of Meghan and Harry. Now, that's fine, but as I said many times before, the Daily Mail have still received no legal recourse. So again, make of that what you will. What's also interesting is I'd like to know exactly how Meghan suddenly finds hair for Harry, because on certain pictures, seemingly he's got more hair than in reality. What's going on there? Do let me know, Mr. Harriman. But what's interesting now is this particular picture, as I say, has created quite a bit of controversy in itself because Mr. Harriman basically has already had things featured in the National Portrait Gallery, a wonderful place in the very heart of London with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as its patron. I was there last year when she came back to open it. Spectacular day, actually, and just nice. I hadn't been in it for a while, and you realise what a treasure trove, a gem this is. You find pictures of people and think, wow, not bad, absolutely. Now, here's the deal. Now, as you know, Mr. Harriman went on social media to basically say that this was now going to appear in the National Portrait Gallery. And we told you the background to that particular story and what were they hoped to do with it. And then it got even more interesting because when I contacted the National Portrait Gallery, they basically said they're just going to catalogue it at the moment. And in fact, it could take some time before it was even on the website. I pushed them harder about the display. Nobody seemed to know. What's interesting is I pushed a little bit further and now, a couple of days later, I get a message back. Actually, they didn't source the picture. It was sent in. Now, they can't tell me, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, whether this was sent in directly from Mr. Harriman or an associate of him, but they said they didn't source the picture. That actually came from the source. Make of that what you will. So this particular idea, whether it's a good idea or not, or whether the National Portrait Gallery will now feel compelled to put it on their website, who knows? But as I told you the other day, the mystery with Harry and Meghan, and now seemingly Mr. Harriman, just confuses and confounds people. A simple yes or no, he should have said it would be up on this date, and you'll be able to see it in the gallery on this date, and on the website. But as ever, Mr. Harriman mumbles and bumbles throughout his social media posts, and nobody's quite sure exactly what the story is. Either way, as ever, the National Portrait Gallery were very clear about exactly where they found it, and more importantly, what they plan to do with it. Either way, for now, it looks like Harry and Meghan are left hanging, but not in the way that they thought. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.